Then let's fill out this monthly expense sheet together. It will help us put perspective into what you make versus what you owe. Alright, so this is our monthly expense sheet. Do you know how much you make?
About $3,500.
Alright, and how much would you say your mortgage is?
Well, I do not have a mortgage. My house is paid off.
Okay, and how much is your electric bill on average?
About $110, and that's going to include heating and gas.
Alright, and your telephone bill?
It's going to be about $120, and I have one of those Mediacom VIP packages that has telephone, internet, TV. So
Oh, good.
That for $120.
Okay. And then water and sewage?
$100.
And how much for your property tax?
About $400.
Okay, and do you have any water softeners?
No.
Alright, and what about for groceries?
It's going to be about $100 a month or so.
And do you eat out?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you have a car payment?
No, paid off.
And what about insurance?
That is about $90.
Alright, and gas and oil?
$90 too, probably.
Alright, what about repairs or maintenance?
Nope.
Do you have any parking fees or bus fares? And what about for your car registration?
I'd say about $11 a month.
Alright, and do you have homeowners insurance?
Yes, it runs about $300 a month.
And health insurance?
About $150.
And life insurance?
That one's about $130.
Alright, and what about for like your doctor, your dentist, or your optometrist?
Each of those are about like $4.16.
Is it like all provided under the same health insurance plan? Okay. And do you buy clothes for your family?
No, not really.
Do you get your laundry dry cleaned, or is it under your water bill?
It's under the water bill.
And what about like the barber or getting your hair cut?
I'd say about $5.
And toiletries or cosmetics?
Probably about $8.
Do you allow yourself allowances?
No.
Alcohol, cigarettes, or tobacco? And what about gifts for family members?
I'd say on average about $20.
Okay. And do you make any type of donation?
About $20 as well.
And you don't have any work expenses?
No, I'm retired, so no work expenses.
What about for recreation?
I have about $10 for fishing supplies.
And education?
Nope.
About lessons for dance or piano? Do you get like a newspaper bill or a magazine bill?
About $20 a month.
And do you have any bank service charges?
No.
And what about child support?
No.
Clubs or hobbies?
About $25 for paint supplies.
And any pets? What about postage or stationery?
About $3.
And savings?
Nope.
Creditors? Alright, and I'll add this up
Okay.
for you. Alright, this is such a good sign. It looks like your monthly expenses are less than half of what you make every month. Meaning, because you bring in $3,500 and your expenses are $1,700, you have more money to spend. You should feel optimistic about your future.
Wow, that is such a relief. I know it sounds crazy, but I was afraid of not being able to make it. I never thought I'd have such a huge amount left over.
It's okay to feel afraid sometimes, and I completely understand where it's coming from. We're always hearing terrible stories about how people go into debt and have their lives completely destroyed. I feel that you will not have to worry about this anymore. One way to make sure of this is to create a monthly budget.
Isn't that what we just did?
Well, yes and no. When we created your monthly expenditures sheet, we figured out where some of your money is going every month, but there's always miscellaneous expenses that we sometimes forget about. That's why, for homework, I'm going to send you home with a copy of what we did here today, and I'd like for you to add to it over the next week. You can buy a notebook to record your daily expenses in and even take it with you so that you never forget. It will help teach you to not spend more than what you have, and it will show you how much you can save.
I'm just going to tell you up front, I don't have a savings account in the bank because I think it's safer to keep my money at home. I do have a checking account, but I only use it to pay bills, and I usually deposit the money into an account the day that I plan on paying the bill. I always pay my bills early so I don't run into any trouble with late fees and such. I have a credit card, but I don't use it. It's frozen in a block of ice in my freezer, and that's the way I like it. I haven't had a credit card bill in ages, and I don't want one either. My house is paid off and my car's for now, and I don't want to build up any credit or use it.
Alright, next time you come to see me, I'd like to focus on different methods for saving your money. The bad thing about keeping it in the upstairs dresser is that it's not safe. For example, if your house caught on fire, or if a criminal broke in and discovered it, you would no longer have that money. But if it was kept in a bank or a credit union, you would have a second chance if someone robbed the bank or burned it down.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, but it makes me really nervous.
Are you scared of what might happen when you start banking?
Yeah, I just don't want to be sorry later.
Look at me. I think you'll be surprised, but since you're feeling nervous, there are steps that you can take that will help you while you're deciding on a banking method. If possible, I would suggest purchasing a fireproof safe. They're good for storing important documents such as your social security card, your birth and death certificates, your will, or any other important document that should be kept safe and locked up. You could also put your wife's life insurance benefit in there, since it would be much safer in there than in the bedroom dresser.
I know you're right. I really don't want to stash my money any longer, and I want to start saving it correctly, but I feel like I need to take baby steps.
And since you're recognizing this now, it will be easier to accomplish later. Let's calculate your net worth. This can be used next time when we talk about savings. Alright, so how much cash do you have on hand?
Ooh. I mean, I have $100 in my billfold, but other than that, I'm not sure. At home, I don't know.
What about in your checking account?
I don't keep anything in there. I only put something in there when I want to pay a bill.
Your savings account?
Don't have one.
The market value on your house?
I could not tell you off the top of my head.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was hoping to kind of get a net worth statement from you today, but I think we have a lot of valuable information. So instead, I'll send this home with you, and if you can, I'd like you to try to make sure that you get all the figures that it's asking for figured out, or at least, you know, to the best of your knowledge for the next time you come in, and that way we have something to go off of.
Okay. This whole process is definitely making me feel more optimistic. Thank you so much, Jessica.
You're welcome. Well, we have about 5 minutes left. Are there any concerns you have regarding anything we talked about today?
Not that I can think of.
What are you going to do this week to help reach the goals that we discussed today?
Well, I'm going to start by going out and making a couple of purchases, a fireproof safe, and then a notebook.
And what will those help you to achieve?
The fireproof safe will help from maybe fires or burglars, and then the notebook will help keep track of my expenses so that I don't overspend and I can start saving.
Good. This has been a very successful session. I would like to see you again in a week. Have you already set up an appointment with my secretary?
Not yet, but I will on the way out.
Excellent. Well then, I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.